Hey guys, well, I hope you've had a chance to see some of my videos. If you have, I hope they were helpful, hope they were informative. I hope they help answer some of your questions for what you're thinking about getting into the RV transport business. That basic information, I hope, will provide you with a direction and an idea and give you some perspective of what to expect. Now, if you've seen already, guys, this isn't $100,000 job. This is going to be a job where you can make 50, 60, 70, 80 grand. But I'm going to try to see what I can do to get myself closer to that 70, 80 grand. And this is one of those videos I'm going to start shooting about how to save money. Where can I save money to keep more in my pocket? I haven't made my full income potential. In other words, I know I can make more. This month was a transition month, so if you saw what I had made, and you saw my I talked about my fuel expenses and my repairs and maintenance and all that kind of stuff. There's some significant expenses there. So now let's find out what we can do to save money. And here's one of my first projects, I guess you'd call it. What I did is I ordered a kit, and it's called a bypass oil kit. It's made specifically for my truck. It's let me grab my iPad real quick, and I think I can show it to you in a picture. And take a quick peek here. And basically what this kit does, guys, is that once I have it fully in my system, so it looks something like this. I'll show it to you guys. So if you see it right there, you see the system, you see the kit. Those are the, some of the examples they're showing. But basically, guys, what this is there's a mount where your oil filter normally goes. It goes in there. It has two hoses coming out, and one of them is the oil that goes to the system, which are the ones that you saw the picture of that has the two filters, and then it has another one that goes back into the engine. So the way it works, guys, is basically you took the filter off, you put this adapter in there, and then what you did is you put the filter over here. So now your filter's over here on the frame rail, which is make it easier to change and service your truck. You don't have to go end up into the engine. Now you can just come up out here like it's in the frame rail up there on the side of the door, passenger side door. So now it's easier for you to get to. But the main reason and the biggest reason why I'm going to do this is because of the second filter. The second filter, guys, is a 2 micron filter. Now, just to give you a little bit of background info, most oil filters, if not all of them, and I believe they all are the same, they all talk about how they got all these different filter materials, and they show you how they have all these layers and everything. Guys, at the bottom line, at the end of the day, these filters cannot filter more than 20 microns. Why? They can't filter more than that, because if they try to filter, 20 microns is a certain size, and it's real small, but what it does is it can only, imagine the mesh of a net, right? And that opening has to be so big. You can't make it smaller, because if you did, it can't circulate the oil fast enough to lubricate your engine. So that's why they only can make it to 20 microns. If they make it any smaller, which would be the ideal thing for them to do, you either have to have a huge amount of oil, your oil tank has to be huge so that it can have enough time to circulate the oil to go through this filter, or you have to have the filter that's be the size of freaking a small bag or something, so that it could be big enough But again, if it's that big, you have to have enough oil to pass through it so that you can have enough oil to be ready for the pump to pull in and go through your engine. So again, it's impractical. But what this system does is it takes a small amount while it's going through the main filter. There's a small amount that'll go through and go to a second filter. If you saw in the picture, it had 2 filters. The second filter is a 2-micron filter. What that does is approximately, they say about every 10-15 minutes, all the oil in your engine will go and filter through that filter down to 2 microns, and it takes it about 10 to 15 minutes to do that. So that means while your truck engine is running and while you're driving and idling or whatever it's doing, it's going to go through this filter that's down to 2 microns. And when you get it down to 2 microns, guys, you're basically getting brand new oil. Your oil is going to be as if it were coming out of the bottle, which is what you want. You know, if you could keep putting in nice, fresh, brand new oil, you know, every time that it circulates that oil, that'd be awesome. Your oil would not have any soot, any grit, you know, take anything out of it that builds up inside of the oil, and it would just be clean oil running in your engine all the time. Well, that's what I'm going to do, guys. Why? Well, what I want to do is 2 things. I want to extend the oil intervals, and I want to take care of my engine. I want it to last. I want it to be at its peak performance. So I don't want to have to worry, which is what happens to me after 2 weeks, and if I happen to make an extra run and don't have time to come back to change the oil, I don't want to have to worry about it. Even though I'm using AMSOIL already. I've been using that oil in my truck since my first oil change, and I have used nothing but that oil. And that oil already, just the oil itself, will allow you to extend the intervals. But when I put this system in, I won't have to worry about it. I'll just, basically what I'm going to be doing is, the other thing I ordered was an oil analysis kits. I ordered a bunch of them, so that every 5,000 miles, guys, all I'm going to do is go underneath where the frame rail is. There's going to be a little valve. I'm going to take a little sample, ship it off, and then I'll have the results sent back to me in an email. And basically I can figure out how's the condition of my engine, the condition of my oil, and you know, basically what's the health of my engine. And you know what, guys, it makes more sense to do that. You know, why wouldn't you want to know how's your engine doing and get an analysis of it, and then find out if your oil is still good? You know, wouldn't it be great for you to figure out, you know what, it's not time to change oil because the oil's still good? You know, wouldn't it be great if you knew that, so that you wouldn't have to be, you know, spending more money than you have to already? So I already know that I'm going to be able to extend my intervals. I already know that I'm going to be saving that money. And that's where I'm going to try to help you guys figure out, where can you save money, guys? Where can you make up some of this money that you're spending every 2 weeks, every week? You know, whether it be fuel, whether it be maintenance, whether it be repairs, whatever it can be. Where can we save a few dollars here and there to keep more in my pocket, in this case? And if you guys do this, it'll be saving you guys more in your pocket. Now, the kit costs me, retails for $400, but if you go online and you join them and everything, and if you go through me, I can get you the same discount. I'm not here to pitch it, but if you like it, you want to use it, I can, you know, send you a link and you can go through my account. You don't have to go set and buy a membership. But basically, it's going to cost me about $300 for the kit. And what's going to do, guys, is, remember, you're spending $100. You know, even if you go do it yourself, you know, you go buy the oil, the filter. Remember, your downtime, that's your time, guys. Do you really want to come back home for 2-3 days and get under your truck and get dirty, and or you want to take it somewhere? And if you take it somewhere, it's going to cost you. You know, so whether you want to keep more time to your family, or you don't want to have to spend that $80 to $150 that you got to spend every time you take it in to get it serviced, you know, this is the way to, this is one of the ways you can do that, and you know, save yourself a few bucks. At the same time, your engine's going to, you know, if it could love you, it would, because you're going to be giving it, you know, a good quality product. And at the same time, you know, you don't have to worry about it. It's going to be running in peak condition all the time. So that's going to be the name of the game, guys. It doesn't help, but like, for instance, I talked to my buddy Paul the other day. You know, he had a truck that his dad gave him. It was a Duramax, and then I'm not bringing up Duramax just to bash them or say that they're bad or anything. But the truck had 300,000 miles. You figure it, you know, diesel engines, guys, they can go. You know, 300,000 miles shouldn't be anything. Well, after he started pulling with it, didn't last him, I guess, about a month. About a week ago, he called me, or actually I was out there. I met him and pulled into the hotel room. We met. He called me up and told me, "Hey, gonna meet." And we met. And his truck was pushing white smoke out the back. Turns out he had a bad head, and you know, it was going to cost like $5,000. And they were like, "Well, the engine's got 300,000 miles. You might as well redo the whole engine." So it was going to cost him like $10,000. And then, of course, the other thing is, well, your transmission's got 300,000 miles, so you might as well put a new transmission. So they were telling him that he was going to have to spend like $15,000. So what did he end up doing? He ended up going down to the dealership. He told me they gave him like $4 or $5,000 for the truck, as is. He traded it in. He got himself another truck. And he said he bought a Ford F450. Kind of goes against what I said, but he has a CDL. He has a different plan. He is going to be pulling a flatbed trailer. So that, remember I talked, if you've seen my video, guys, about trucks, that fits the narrative. He has his CDL. He's going to go do this, and he's going to do some hot shotting eventually. So he's going to do this with the RVs, and then eventually get his gooseneck, and then, you know, run those trailers, or, you know, run other loads, what he can do, and try to keep it all there in his area. He lives in Dallas, so he wants to try to stay regional. He doesn't want it to be going all over the country. But anyways, well, but the fact of the matter is, you see what I mean? You know, he got himself a truck that was handed to him. Didn't know the condition, didn't know what happened. And I'm not saying that he did anything bad, but, you know, wouldn't it be nice, guys, if you had a truck with 300,000 miles that you knew what the condition was of your engine? You know, what was the you know, what was the analysis? And you know, he didn't know. And that's one of the things I don't want. I don't want surprises, guys. At 300,000 miles, my truck has got to continue to operate, and it's got to operate properly. I can't have white smoke. I can't have ugly smoke. I can't have any smoke coming out of this engine, because it's going to have to keep running. And even when I sell it, I want it to keep running, and running good, because I want to get good trade-in as much as I can. So, you know, it doesn't help you that if you know, you're like, oh, I'm ready to trade it in, and you take it into the dealership, and the truck's smoking, leaking oil, and, you know, having all these problems with it, because they're not going to give you nothing for it. So, you know, you want to try to get as much as you can. And it makes sense, guys. Take care of the truck, it'll take care of you. That's one thing that I believe in, absolutely. If you notice, but I haven't put much pictures of my truck up. My truck's it's dirty, but I get it washed, I get it cleaned, I service it, I do everything I got to do to this truck, and I go the extra mile, because if I take care of this truck, it's going to take care of me. And it doesn't take a lot, but you just, you know, put the time into it to go take the time to go do it. And I know it's hard when you get in it. You don't want to go jump into the hood, and I'm not saying you have to, but just try to find ways to do it, guys. So, you know, whenever you guys decide to do. I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense for you. If you got questions, a comment. If you like my video, please like it. If you like my videos, I hope they helped you, and if you do, subscribe, and I'll keep coming out with more of these videos to try to help you guys out. But this is going to be one of many videos I'm going to be coming out with, guys, that will help you to save money. You may spend a little bit more up front, but over the long haul, it's going to save you time and money. And remember what I said, guys. You've got several things that you're trying to do. You're either going to want to try to save time, save money, be more efficient, more productive. If you can do any of those things, it means two things for you: more time with your family to do the things you want to do, and more money in your pocket so that you can go do those things that you want to do with your family. If you can put more and save more into your pocket, that's going to be better for you. If you can, spend less time under the hood changing the oil and servicing your truck, and just go get it taken care of, and not have to take it to the dealership that often, because you have that system in your truck that you don't have to worry about taking it in for an oil change. That's more time for you guys. You just get home, park the truck, or in my case, I take my truck, I unload it with all the stuff I have right now, and just throw my wife and the kids and the boys that I got, and we'll do our thing. And that's what I want, guys. I want more time for me, for what I want to do. So that's the reasons why I'm doing this. So I hope this video helps. And again, y'all take care. If you're out on the road, be careful. And if there's anything I can do to give you guys a heads up on, don't feel free to comment on me, or send me a message or something. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good one, man. Bye.